So if you've ever found yourself strolling along Pixar Pier in Disney California Adventure, you've definitely seen it, right? Lamplight Lounge. It's that beautiful spot right on the water with a line of people always hoping to get a table. It's honestly one of the most popular places to eat in the whole resort, and it's famous for its super creative food and, just an unbeatable vibe. So, is it really worth all the hype? Well, let's dive in and find out. And this is really what it's all about. Just picture it. You're sitting there right over the lagoon. You can feel that little rumble every time the Incredicoaster launches right next to you. And at night, the whole Pixar pal around is lighting up the sky. It's a feeling you can't get anywhere else. But of course, the big question on everyone's mind is, how in the world do you actually get a table here?
Okay, let's be real. Getting a reservation here can feel like you're on some kind of epic quest. It is one of the toughest bookings to snag at the entire resort, but don't worry, with a little bit of planning and strategy, it is totally possible. So you've got two main ways to go about this. First, you've got your classic reservation, which you should really try to book as far out as you can. But the second option, and honestly, a lot of people overlook this, is the walk-up list. You can join it right from the Disneyland app once you're close to the restaurant. Seriously, we've seen wait times as short as 15 minutes with this method, so it's an amazing backup plan. And here is a pro tip that can be a total game changer. Disney has this 2-hour cancellation policy, which means people's plans are changing all the time. If you're a little persistent and just keep checking the app the night before or the morning you're visiting, you have a surprisingly good shot at grabbing a last-minute spot that just opened up. All right, this next part is absolutely crucial because this is where pretty much all the confusion comes from. Lamplight Lounge isn't just one restaurant. It's actually two totally separate dining spots with two completely different menus, and understanding that difference is going to be the key to getting the experience you're hoping for. Okay, so here's the breakdown. Downstairs is the main dining room. It's very reservation-focused, they serve full-on entrees, and it's the only place you can get that weekend brunch. Now, upstairs is called Boardwalk Dining. It's this beautiful open-air patio that's way more friendly to walk-ups. The menu there is all about shareable bites, appetizers, and small plates. Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. The one everyone asks. You've seen the photos on Instagram, you've heard people raving about them, but on which menu do you actually find those legendary must-have lobster nachos? Okay, listen up because this is important. If those lobster nachos are what you're after, you can only get them at the upstairs boardwalk dining area. They are not on the downstairs menu at all. It's a weird little quirk, but it is a critical piece of information to have. All right, now that we've got all the logistics sorted out, let's get to the best part, the actual food and drinks that have turned this place into a total icon at Disney California Adventure. So if you happen to be visiting on a weekend, you might get the chance to try their exclusive brunch. It's a special menu with some of the most popular dishes in the entire park, but you gotta know when to go. And when I say exclusive, I mean it. Brunch is only served on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it stops right at 1 p.m. sharp. This really narrow window is exactly why a brunch reservation here is one of the hottest tickets in the park. So what's causing all this excitement? Well, it starts with this thing right here, the undisputed champion of the brunch menu. This is not your typical French toast. No, this is a thick, super decadent, custard-soaked masterpiece that basically has its own cult following. I mean, let's just break down what's going on here. The bread is soaked in this warm chai tea custard. Then it's topped with sweet caramelized peaches, this orange bourbon honey glaze, crunchy candied pecans, and it's all finished with a little dollop of chai tea whipped cream. I mean, come on. Every single part of this works together to make something you won't forget. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The magic is all in the texture. It's so incredibly rich and custardy. It's a phenomenal dish that 100% lives up to all the hype. But hey, it's not just about the sweets. The surprise hit of the brunch menu for literally everyone, vegans and meat eaters alike, are these plant-based potato flautas. They might not be what you'd think to order for brunch, but trust me, they are amazing. You just can't get higher praise than that. These flautas are bursting with flavor. They're perfectly crispy on the outside, filled with soft potatoes, and then topped with this spicy plant-based chorizo and a bright tomatillo salsa. They have this fantastic kick to them and are a definite must-try. So let's head upstairs to the boardwalk and talk about those famous nachos. While the lobster nachos get, a ton of attention, there's actually another version that is just as fantastic and might even win you over. Let's talk about the barbacoa nachos. You start with these warm, house-made tortilla chips, and then they just pile on this tender, chili-spiced beef barbacoa. They're smothered in a creamy chipotle cheese sauce, sprinkled with fresh queso fresco, and topped with zesty pickled jalapenos. The barbacoa is just so flavorful, and you get this perfect smoky kick from the cheese sauce. Now let's talk about the price. At $25, these are definitely a splurge for an appetizer. It's kind of part of the Lamplight Lounge experience. You're paying for premium food in a location that's truly one of a kind. And this quote frames it perfectly. Yeah, it's pricey, but you're on vacation, right? You're paying for that incredible view, the whole atmosphere, and a plate of nachos that tastes really, really good. Of course, you're going to need a drink to go with those views. For a non-alcoholic choice, the 2319 is a huge fan favorite. It's this frozen blend of strawberry, pineapple, and coconut cream. If you want a cocktail, the Find Your Spark is a great sweet and fruity option. Oh, and definitely ask your server about the secret drink menu for some stronger classic drinks. And one last pro tip, ask for a full set of the collectible character coasters. They're a fantastic and free souvenir. So, after we've broken it all down, the views, the reservations, the 2 different menus, the food, what's the final verdict? Is Lamplight Lounge really worth all the effort and the price? So here's how it all stacks up. The pros are massive. Those incredible waterfront views, truly unique and delicious food, amazing Pixar theming, and a great drink menu. But the cons are real too. Reservations are hard to get, it can be expensive, that whole upstairs versus downstairs menu thing is confusing, and yeah, it can feel a little rushed when they're busy. But even with all that, the verdict is a huge yes. It's a classic Disney California Adventure experience that you really should try at least once. So there you have it. You're now armed with all the insider info you need to plan the perfect meal. So whether you're dreaming of that decadent French toast at brunch, those surprisingly amazing potato flautas, or the legendary boardwalk nachos, your table is waiting. The only question left is, what's on your must-try list?